This episode of Android Weekly is brought to you by Domain.com. Now, there will be those who accuse Samsung of simply copying Apple again with the recent iteration of the flagship, the Galaxy S6, but we here at Android Authority are going to make the case that maybe Samsung should have considered owning the differentiation that is in the Galaxy S6 Edge and making that their flagship. Let's talk about that. So do you guys remember this? Yeah, Android smartphones have come a long way, baby. But as the budget end of the market continues to new depths and unbelievable specs at low prices, the premium end is having a harder time capturing our interest and persuading us to part with our larger sums of cash. After a disappointing year last year, Samsung has taken decisive action to stop the rot. But with the S6 and the S6 Edge, it has made changes that will not please everyone. So over the past couple weeks, we've been talking a lot about marketing and how it relates to the smartphone market. But I wanted to give you guys an example of how someone from way in the back end, they weren't top of mind, they weren't the first market in the industry, came from behind and performed what is considered still to date the most successful marketing campaign ever. And it was titled Think Small. You see, in the late 60s, there was a trend among car manufacturers to make very big vehicles. They were massive. In fact, when I was a kid in the 70s, we had a name for those types of cars. They were called boats because they were huge. Volkswagen did a fantastic job at differentiating what made them different. They weren't just small, they were cheaper, they were cuter, and they said something about the owner. They made the owner stand out from the crowd. To this day, the Volkswagen Beetle ad is considered to have revolutionized the marketing industry because it taught us that we can stand out from the crowd and Samsung could have owned the Edge. Instead of making the S6 a simple option, they could have made it the flagship king and be known as the company that's done away with the old-fashioned flat-screen devices. Now they're all multi-screen devices. It would have been braver of Samsung to just simply release the S6 as its sole flagship. That would have made a real statement of intent. It has always preferred to offer more choice, though it did promise to tone down the options this year. When Samsung stuck to its guns under pressure to go metal in the past, at least it was a decision you could respect. But the S4 wasn't exciting and the S5's dimpled back cover was downright ugly. With a tough year ahead, it was definitely time for a change. You see, if Samsung had just released the Galaxy S6, it wouldn't have been enough. People would have shouted copycat again. But the S6 Edge combines the move to premium materials and design with a real innovation in form factor. You can dismiss the curved edges as gimmicky, but Samsung has some smart ideas for features. When developers get their hands on the SDK, we'll start to see the real potential. So what do you guys think? Do you think the S6 Edge is the best of the best? As the reviews and comparisons roll out, the S6 Edge looks like it has a real shot at the title. The iPhone traditionally punches above its weight in terms of specs on paper, but we're already seeing credible reports that the S6 Edge has a better display, camera, and far superior multi-core performance. Samsung has also improved the fingerprint sensor, toned down the bloatware, and provided support for both major wireless charging standards. Alright, an Android Authority t-shirt goes out to anyone in the world who can come up with the most creative domain name relevant to Android Authority. That's right. Put it in the comments below. For the person who gets the most likes, and the one that I like the best, will be sent the t-shirt. Because it's not just about .com, .net, or .org anymore, you now have the opportunity to name your site and build your brands in ways never before possible. Choose from a growing list of 200 plus domain name extensions like .ninja, .nyc, .expert, or .club, all available now at Domain.com. And the guys at Domain.com have a great offer for all of us. You can save 15% off on domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code. Get 15% off when you use our coupon code Android. When you think domain names, think Domain.com. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jace. I'd love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter. I read all my comments and app replies, and I respond to as many as I can. You don't want to forget about my brothers in Android, Josh, Joe, and the Tech Ninja, Kevin, Lonnie, Chris, Gary, Nash, and Taylor, all working really hard to be your source for all things Android.